He makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Run of the Race. I'm Brittany Taylor, joined by Mark Warwood as we get ready to review everything that happened on Karrakatta Plate Day. It was a big day of racing, Mark, 9-race program.
Certainly was. The Karrakatta was race number 8, a great story out of it as well, with the Leighton family being one of the owners of Dig Deep. The race itself, however, not that good.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see from the numbers perspective how this Karrakatta rates with previous Karrakattas, and we'll touch on all of that when we get up to that race. But for now, let's start, as always, from the very beginning. Let's have a look at the maiden of the event, and that was taken out by Divine Quest.
Then a half a length, Kendall's Me Dad, caught a little wide in running. On the fence to Spookwe with Ross Anna being ridden along from the Honeyman. Further back to Kenny Luck, Divine Quest, and taking off around the outside. Next to last is Hearty's Jules. 400 to travel now, and they'd straighten for home. Liberty Magic first into the home straight. The favourite breathing down its neck now on the outside. Magic Empire lays down the gauntlet. 2 lengths Fair Tour. Followed then by Kendall's Me Dad. Divine Quest, Friar's Moon further back in the field. Kendall's Me Dad ranges up now to tackle Magic Empire, who'd hit the front, but Divine Quest has got them all. It's Divine Quest surging clear late. Divine Quest from last runs away from Magic Empire.
Divine Quest rattling home there in a race that they've gone a fairly slow tempo, very slow in fact, 8 lengths slower than benchmark to the 600, which I think makes for an admirable performance by the winner.
Also makes it a pretty unreliable form guide as well, because we're not really sure about the true merit of the win. Doesn't make the file the winner. The Forgive horse is Artie's Jewel. Veered on jumping was wide from the 800. The Forget horse is Liberty Magic. Finished 8th, was the leader of what was a pretty slow tempo, relatively slow sectionals at home, had every possible on the speed. And the follow horse is again Artie's Jewel, second fastest sectionals from the rear of a slowly run race, but little more than a token suggestion there.
Now, if we thought the first race was slowly run, let's take a look at the second race. I'm not sure, since we've been doing this show, if we've seen a slower figure to the 600. This race here, they're running 18.3 lengths slower to the 600 than benchmark. Let's take a look at Dutch Spy taking this one out.
To get right up onto its back. Socially Unique was relegated to last. It's Atlanta Blue in control. They've put the 600 behind them. Atlanta Blue, a long neck, Dutch Spy, Maginica 3 deep. Then Battle Talk searching for a run, coming into the corner nearing the 400 mark from Special Delivery. Settlers Creek outside of it. Then Salon de Chevelle and Socially Unique into the straight. Maginica with the big white blaze ranges up for McNaught. Grab Dutch Spy. Atlanta Blue's gone, a shot duck. Then Settlers Creek, Salon de Chevelle, Special Delivery. Dutch Spy fights back with Maginica. Settlers Creek keeps coming. Maginica, Dutch Spy with the neck in front. Dutch Spy under vigorous riding. Special Delivery comes late. Dutch Spy wins. Dutch Spy.
Now, there were probably a few question marks on Dutch Spy and whether he would run that 1400 metres coming into the race, but when they've gone that slowly, no surprise to see the horse win.
All of its winning form over 1200. It failed over 1300 before. Lends in a 1400 metre race, sits outside the leader. They go 3 seconds slower than they should do in the first half of the race, and surprise, surprise, the 1200 metre horse wins. Doesn't make the file. The Forgive horse is Atlanta Blue. Felt uncomfortable in its action throughout. Came back with atrial fibrillation as well. Total Forgive run for Atlanta Blue. The Forget horse is Socially Unique. Has simply not returned in the same form as the previous campaigns. And the Follow horse, again, a little more than a token suggestion here, but I'm going to go with Salon du Cheval. Second last rather in what was a walk of a race. Fastest last 200. I thought it was too short on Saturday, and the tempo certainly didn't help either.
I must say the price was very surprising for Salon du Cheval, a horse resuming and a massive, massive horse, and sometimes those horses just take a run to get to their top, so one we can look forward to further in the preparation. Another horse we want to keep an eye on, I think, is Catherine Wheel at just her second ever race start. She's been able to make her Ascot winning debut.
Half Olga Louisa from Crystal Dane, and tacking on now to the back is Over There, but still about 5 lengths from the leader. Excise Free took a little break for Whitten at the 550. Comes back underneath her. Catherine Wheel strides up to its girth before the home corner. 3 deep, Dear Calder. Bedouin Bell back behind them now, coming away from the fence. Followed by Crystal Dane over there, and Olga Louisa drops out last. Catherine Wheel hits the front from Excise Free. Dear Calder sticks on. And further back over there, Crystal Dane, but Stake now livens up Catherine Wheel, and she's rolling. 100 left to go. Catherine Wheel sprints away. Bedouin Bell on the inside from Dear Calder, but a most impressive city debut by Catherine Wheel.
Catherine Wheel making it 2 from 2 in her races and recording a figure of -2. Mark, who makes the files?
She certainly does. Look, if you missed the first half of Katakata Plate Day at Ascot Racecourse, you didn't miss too much. The only thing you did miss was Catherine Wheel. She was a rare highlight in the first couple of hours. Thought she's the follow horse going forward here. Very good effort. Settled second just off what was a pretty quick tempo and then came home with the fastest last 400 and 600 metres as well. The Forget horse is Crystal Dane, finished 6th on Saturday. That's its latest flop in Saturday grade and has simply been proven not to be up to this prime standard. The Forgive horse is exercise free, elevated heart rate, slow recovery and also led what was a pretty fast tempo, Willing to Forgive.
All right, let's take a look at the next race. It was a staying event and this one was taken out by High Energy, who I think appreciated a genuine tempo.
Of Sacks on, Sacks off, Midnight Banquet. He checked there, 3/4, Juicing Carrots, 2 lengths, High Energy, followed by Upward, others shaken up. On the fence, Stairway to the Moon. They're about to bunch. Send My Love saved up for 1 run. Navy Blue and Forget Old Tone, who drops out a long last. Coming into the home straight though, Sacks on, Sacks off, rallies again. He kicks strongly from Juicing Carrots. Midnight Banquet now gets the inside run. Here comes High Energy though with his run down the outside. Send My Love further back, making ground. Stake though releases the brakes on High Energy at the 100. High Energy races clear. Send My Love's in pursuit, charging. High Energy's in front. Send My Love dives but misses.
High Energy winning there. Now the plan for this horse was to head straight to the paddock after this run, but after a win it makes it very tempting to keep them in work, and there's that big WA Cup 3,200 metres coming up.
Yeah, it's worth quite a lot of money as well. I think $150,000. Doesn't have black type, but it has a lot of cash in it. I don't think he's the follow horse out of this race. I think it might be Send My Love. I know she's getting a reputation as a bit of a money muncher, but she did have the fastest sectionals on Saturday, and I think she's overdue some luck, and it was a pretty good effort nonetheless. The Forget horse is Stairway to the Moon. I thought this horse had some promise off what was a pretty impressive midweek win here at Ascot over the 1,600 metres, but was pretty plain on Saturday, has to be said. And I'm Willing to Forgive Navy Blue. Like the winner, had previously spent some time with Darren Ware in Victoria, over-raced and was wide from the 800 metres last start. Look, quirky galloper, has to have everything go its way, but I do think there's a little bit of ability there, and I think there probably is a Saturday win in this grade.
All right, that is the files out of the staying event. Now we move on to the first of the features. It was the Marjorie Charlson race, and well, Fabagino started the very short odds-on favourite and unfortunately wasn't able to deliver, but who could? Electric Light.
Ruler just starting to edge a little closer. On the fence, running third, Lady Cosmology, as Nucky applies a firm hold of the big Liverpool Grey coming into the home corner. Running fourth, Electric Light, 2 lengths, Celebrity Dream, who's off the bridle. Around the corner now, the sparks are about to fly. Fabagino at the top of the straight, led Market Ruler, Lady Cosmology. She's looking for the rails runner. Electric Light's a further length away from Celebrity Dream. Market Ruler joined Fabagino. Now Lady Cosmology and Electric Light, 4 across the track. Electric Light reaches the lead. Celebrity Dreams running on. It's Electric Light. Lady Cosmology diving at it all. They hit it. Electric Light.
A great win there by Electric Light to take out the Marjorie Charlson, recording an overall figure of -4.4.
Yeah, I think she's the follow horse here. I'm kicking myself. She was a follow horse a couple of weeks ago. I thought she was much better, and a few people were suggesting that she was maybe just a Belmont winter horse. The figures suggested otherwise. I think she's definitely up to this grade, and I'd expect her to go on and win some black type for her connections. Forget horse, the only horse I didn't fancy in this field on Saturday was Celebrity Dream. Only beat one home, that was Fabagino. I am willing to pot her moving forward. And the Forgive horse, look, I will forget Fabagino. Sweated up really badly before the race, then led what was a very slow tempo. I really did not understand the tactics whatsoever. I still thought it was a pretty good overall rating of -2.2. Back over the 1,000. Off a bit of a break, but certainly not 1,200 and certainly not ridden that way.
And I think there's no doubt that it's a horse with a few issues, as it always seems to be the good ones that do happen to have those few issues. So I think they'll need to iron a few of those out as it heads towards bigger races, but hopefully we can see Fabagino bounce right back. All right, that is the first 5 races done. We'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we've still got the Karakata Plate to have a look at. Welcome back to the run of the race. We are up to race number 6, and this one was taken out by Speeding Comet, who finally got a little bit of luck.
Worked his way to the top at the 600, about a half a length clear from Speeding Comet up there on the outside today. Then King's Authority, who's over on the fence next of all from Quick on the Trigger. Rockefeller's between them. Off the course is Requisition. On the fence to Tango. Back with Comparative and Orange Strudel. And last is No Mean Feet. Into the straight at the 300. Free Trade tackled now by Speeding Comet. Speeding Comet got a neck in front. Free Trade sticks on. 2 lengths King's Authority. It's Speeding Comet going to the 150. Free Trade fighting back. Speeding Comet a half a length. Free Trade lifting from King's Authority, but Speeding Comet for McNaught in the Rising Star Silks.
Speeding Comet finally broke through this preparation. Has been a horse that has been dealt some bad barriers and a bit of bad luck in running, and great to see Jade McNaught ride a winner for the team at Scenic where she used to work. She would have been over the moon about that. Does the horse make the files?
No, it doesn't. I thought this was a pretty weak graduation race, and once you've won one of these races, it does get a bit hard. I'm willing to forgive No Mean Feet here. Change of tactics. They elected to go back from the gate. Came home with the fastest sectionals all the way home, and that was in spite of bleeding. So the horse will be banned for 3 months. He's clearly had some issues, but looking forward to his next campaign. I still think there's a horse there. The forget horse is Rockefeller. The Gun Jimmy boys have had a lot of success buying these horses from the Eastern States, often for not a great deal of money, but I thought that was a very disappointing first run in WA for Rockefeller. The follow horse, King's Authority, I think it's edging towards a win. I thought it was a pretty decent run on Saturday. The horses that finished first and second were first and second in the run, and therefore King's Authority is the follow horse.
All right, Mark following King's Authority out of that race. The next one was another feature, the Old Comrade Stakes, and it wasn't without drama to begin the race when Tell 'Em We're Coming was scratched on the way to the gates. But Ms. Lecky, the horse who has been a nightmare when it gets to the barriers, was on her best behaviour and beat them by panels.
Next on its inner. One Abdicator, then 2 lengths further back is Falcon Crest under heavy pressure. My Greek Boy led them. 500 to go in the Old Comrade by a length on Variation. About to quicken up now around its heels. There is Ms. Lecky. She goes up 3 wide. Push and Shapes push 4 deep. Then Proper Randy sneaking up in behind them. Into the straight. Ms. Lecky went for home. Hit the front. Push and Shapes a length and a half away. Variation battles away from Abdicator. Proper Randy switching back to the fence, but it's all Ms. Lecky with 100 left to go. She's got the Old Comrade well and truly parcelled up. Ms. Lecky draws away. There's a treble for Diamond Dan. Ms. Lecky bolted in by 3.5 lengths.
Ms. Lecky winning there, a horse that has been afforded 0 luck the last few runs, finally got her chance to shine.
She had plenty of luck on Saturday. Tell 'Em We're Coming didn't go around, and Variation, well, that wasn't the real Variation for mine. Looking at the foal, the forgive horse is Variation. Over race, cast a plate. I'm willing to forgive the one bad run because I think his runs back in, and he's had more than a year off, have been pretty good. The forget horse is sadly Falcon Crest. He was the returning champion. He was last all of the way, and the owners have decided to retire Falcon Crest. He won multiple listed races for his owners. The follow horse is Ms. Lecky, but with a few caveats. I don't think she beat anything on Saturday. I thought this was a terrible race after the scratching of Tell 'Em We're Coming and the non-performance of Variation.
All right, now we are up to the big one, the feature. It is the Karrakatta Plate. Let's take a look at the concluding stages of Dig Deep, taking out the feature for the juveniles.
Bubba Rucci over on the inside. Specialism was beaten for early speed. Back there with Divide the Sea. Second last, Nakovi, and last of all is Powder Bell. At the 550 in the Karrakatta, Amelia's on fire will bring them for home. A length and a half to Jericho Missile, worked upon by Pike. Rio Del Mar down on the inside, following the stablemate into the home corner from Rubik Rose. Miss West Coast has been parked wide all the way. Further back is 10 Snip Pure Dynamite down near the inside. At the 200, it's Amelia is on fire. Miss West Coast about to draw level though. Miss West Coast are now getting through Dig Deep with his run. Miss West Coast Dig Deep around 10 Snip. They hit the line. Dig Deep did that and won. Dig Deep.
Dig Deep winning there in what was a very emotional Karrakatta Plate victory, but taking the emotions aside and let's just focus on the numbers. We had a lot of lead in talking about the girls, the boys, who was better. We'd seen the boys run tempo. They had run good figures. The girls hadn't quite ran as fast coming into the Karrakatta. On the weekend, we saw a minus 4.7 to the 600, so almost 5 lengths below average. So they were going good tempo.
It was very similar to the Perth Stakes, and therefore the boys had already experienced that, and they finished first and second with Dig Deep winning from Tin Snip. I know that Jericho Missile was a little bit disappointing, but he did seem to have some excuses. But I think if you're looking to bet on these 2-year-old races, particularly the grand finals like they are, look for tempo. Look for horses that are proving it.
Now, overall, they've recorded a figure of 0.7. So where does that rate when we look at previous Karrakattas to this one?
Punting Form has logged the last 7 Karrakatta plates. That was the 7th one on Saturday, and unfortunately it's far and away the slowest Karrakatta plate we've seen. It's 3 lengths worse than the one won by Hobart Jones. That was a 0.04 figure. Last year Valero was minus 5.2, Lucy May was minus 3.5, Whispering Brook minus 5.4, Lucky Street minus 6.5, and Miss Funovitz minus 5.4. So Dig Deep, great story, but 3 lengths slower than the worst Karrakatta we've seen in half a dozen years.
Very, very interesting seeing the results of when we do compare the previous Karrakattas, taking nothing away from the connections, of course, and the wonderful story that it was. Who makes the files in this race?
I think the Forgive horse might be Rio Del Mar. Was impeded over the last 50 or so metres, came back with mucus in both of her nostrils. I did think she was one of the better fillies, and I'm willing to give her another chance. The Forget horse is Jericho Missile, was well backed, very well backed, from about $4 into $2.30. Came back shin sore, has now gone to the paddock, and we know what happens with these 2-year-olds. Things can change very, very quickly. The Follow horse, I think he's probably Tin Snip. Jumped from the outside gate, fastest last 2, 6 and 800 metres, and also the 3rd fastest last 400 metres. He's bred to want further than the 1200 metres. I thought he was no hope at all on Saturday from the gate, given his pedigree page, so he probably was the run of the race.
And when I saw him come back, I haven't seen a 2-year-old recover the way he has, so I think the further he goes, the better he is going to get. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing him in the sires. There was still one race to go on the program, and this one knocked me out of the quaddie, Mark. Ash Maley has a habit of doing that. Skin and Tins taking out the last.
Fourth, then Skin and Tins and Tonka Tough together. Around the outside goes Vermont Lady, being followed back between horses. Then as they come to the corner by Peppy Jack, it was followed by Turbo Power down near the fence. Coming around the corner, Supreme Force from last, hard ridden behind those. Coming around them very wide in front of Grey Enigma, Flying Raw Resistance. Harry Thomas hit the front at the top of the straight. The favourite joined it, Beautiful Mind, very quickly though. 2 lengths Skin and Tins, Tonka Tough, Beautiful Mind at the 150 from Harry Thomas. Skin and Tins, the roughie is down the outside, but it's Beautiful Mind kicking strongly. Beautiful Mind, Skin and Tins lunging at it. Beautiful Mind, Skin and Tins split it. Skin and Tins might have just got it. Maybe.
Skin and Tins taking out the last there, recording an overall figure of 0.2. Who makes the files, Mark?
Not Skin and Tins. The Forget horse is Caracapo from your stable. Look, the racing style just leaves this horse pretty vulnerable. It's not just simply the fact that I don't think he stays the 1400 minutes. I think even back at the 1200, I'll be willing to oppose Caracapo next start. The Forgive and the Follow horse is Beautiful Mind. Ran really good figures in a midweek race 2 starts ago. Probably just didn't back up. That sometimes happens with these, I suppose, second tier animals. And looking at the run on Saturday, settled 4th, was relatively strong late. I'm still an admirer of Beautiful Mind.
All right, I think Daniel Stake had a lot of confidence going into that last race with Beautiful Mind too. So one to watch going forward. Let's have a look at the meeting in its totality, and it's not very often we see the staying race produce the best figures.
Yeah, they went really good tempo here, and it set it up beautifully for iEnergy and Jerry Noski, the Noski family. 2200 metre race, came back with a figure of minus 6.3, and also the class figure as well of minus 7.2, with it being a 64 plus handicap. Looking at the sectionals, Divine Quest, the 2 and the 400 from the first race of the day, they dead set walked in that race, and then the last 600, more meritorious, this Electric Light. She is worth following.
A horse going places, that's for sure. We'll take a quick break, and on the other side we'll have a look at how our tipsters fared this week with the Perth Racing tipping competition.
At TabTouch, our bettering department comes up with new ways to better your betting experience, like putting better features at your fingertips, such as Sky Racing and SuperPick.
But if you think we're just doing what every other betting company does, think again. Because we're also giving a portion of every bet to fund a better racing industry. And betting your local. So better your bet with TabTouch.
Stay in control. Leave before you lose it. Gamble responsibly.
Welcome back to the run of the race. It is time to have a look at the tipping competition and see how our tipsters fared. Mark, probably a bit of a good day if you were able to find a few winners, because there were some nice results on Saturday.
Certainly was. Of the 9 races, 5 of them were won by horses that paid more than $10 with the win dividend on tab. That was High Energy, Electric Light, Speeding Comet, Dig Deep and Skin in Tins, and your best bet of the day would have been Dig Deep, just because it paid 50 cents more than Skin in Tins.
Very close indeed, so you'd be happy to have found either of those, but if you were able to find that Karrakatta winner, you would have been up. Let's see what our winner selected. Did the winner find the Karrakatta winner?
No, he didn't, but he found Skin in Tins, and he had his big bet on Skin in Tins as well. He found 3 big price winners: Electric Light, Speeding Comet and Skin in Tins. The winner is Craig Leach, and just like last week, we've now got a multiple winner, which is absolutely ridiculous away, because we've got upwards of 300 people playing on a standard Saturday and a lot more than that during the big feature day. So really well done to Craig.
I was about to say, I recognise that name. I think this one has won before. Well done to Craig. He'll be lining up for a job soon in the mounting yard. He's tipping that well. Does that get him into the top 8?
Yeah, he's a really big mover here. He's moved up to 2nd place. Keatsy 11, he's still our leader, but had a bit of a nightmare on Saturday. I don't think got more than 100 points. So King Chief is now closing in. He's only around 500 points behind.
And we thought that he had an unassailable lead, so Craig's really closing in on that leader. Another chance to do it all again this weekend on what is Raconteur as well as WATC Derby Day. Let's start with the Raconteur and a few horses that we're very familiar with. In fact, we've just seen them in the files in Variation and Ms. Lecky feature in the past 3 editions.
Races up now alongside of Cubit and Cundy. Showy Chloe has to call upon all her reserves. She's trying to dig in. All G's got something to offer. Showy Chloe trying to run her down. All G, Showy Chloe got to dive in. All G. Near the inside, Minus looks further back, but Variation goes for home. The Guineas winner at the 100 clear. Quilista comes again from Western Temple. Variation in front, hard ridden from Western Temple. Quilista and Variation. He got revenge on them today. Showcase, here comes Ms. Lecky winding up. Fine Scent, 3 Secrets. Ms. Lecky, Miracle Man coming down the outside, but it's Ms. Lecky storming to the lead in the Raconteur. Ms. Lecky, the filly, bounds away from them, and she's much too good. She won from Miracle Man Abdicator. In behind them, this.
Great to see Brad Parnham featuring in 2 of those victories there. Now let's have a look at what will be the highlight on Saturday. It's the WATC Derby. From Big Red Costa, pushing Shapes, Capo Doro, further back behind them, Arcadia Dream getting out of the ground and rattling home. 100 left to go. Who Dat Singer? Here's Arcadia Dream. Is Pike going to do it again? He lunges. He does. He's got another derby. He's got home in the last. With you on the outside, getting those swept up the Chill the Champers. I reckon they can start celebrating with the Champers as well at the 100. Getting gave them the go-by in the Derby. Races away, very tempting, gets out to give chase, but Getting, it's Getting in the Classic from the Oaks winner. She's rattled home. Went to work on Action. 150 to go. The Derby looked absolutely all over. Lights, camera, Action here in the Classic. He's coming away. Action too good. Bolted the Derby in by 3.5 like a butterfly. action winning last year's Derby there. Can his little brother do it this weekend?
Stone Bunking Moral. I cannot see him getting beat. I think only bad luck will get Regal Power beat, and if you can get black odds, fill your boots.
I can't believe I saw $2.20 and I was shocked because we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago and we thought for sure he would be well up under even money.
It was $1.80 when we did the run of the race 2 weeks ago following his win in the Mel Vista. He opened up at $2.25 with Tab Touch after the barrier draw. I don't care what barrier he's got, I think he just wins.
Oh, well, we will look forward to this weekend. Let's see if we are right about Regal Power. Hope to see you out at the track on WATC Derby, and if not, we'll see you next week in the run of the race.
She makes her bid for a little piece of history.